What if the Earth stopped spinning for 1 second? Imagine you're standing outside, enjoying a calm, sunny day, when suddenly the Earth decides to stop spinning, just for 1 second. Then it starts again, like nothing happened. How bad could it be? First, let's remember that the Earth is really big, and it's spinning really fast. At the equator, you're moving at about 1,670 kilometers per hour, which is faster than a bullet train and about one-third the speed of sound. You don't notice it, because everything around you, air, oceans, cities, mountains, is moving at the same speed. But if the Earth suddenly stopped, while the atmosphere and everything not nailed down kept moving, you'd instantly find out what conservation of momentum really means. In that single second, buildings would crumble, oceans would leap out of their basins, and you, your car, and your neighbor's cat would all be flung eastward at highway-destroying speeds. If you live near the equator, congratulations. You've just become a supersonic projectile. Near the poles, where the Earth spins more slowly, you'd be better off. But better here just means still alive long enough to regret it. So, 1 second in, and most of humanity has already been flattened, drowned, or tossed into orbit by the world's worst roller coaster ride. But let's be generous and assume some lucky few survived by hiding in a cave, or by sheer coincidence happened to be standing inside a reinforced bunker. What would they see next? Well, the oceans would keep moving eastward, crashing into continents with the force of thousands of nuclear bombs. Mega tsunamis taller than skyscrapers would sweep across the land, swallowing cities whole. The atmosphere would do the same, turning into a planet-wide shockwave of supersonic wind. For 1 second, the Earth's surface would feel like standing in front of a rocket engine the size of a planet. And then, just as quickly as it began, the Earth would start spinning again. The problem is, by then the damage is already done. The crust would shatter under the sudden stress, triggering earthquakes of unimaginable magnitude. Let's say magnitude everything breaks. Volcanic eruptions would ignite the sky, while the oceans, now sloshing around like soup in a violently shaken pot, would take centuries to settle back into something resembling normal coastlines. But what if we tried to imagine the longer-term consequences? The moon, which has been patiently orbiting a stable Earth for billions of years, would suddenly find itself dealing with a lopsided, chaotic planet. Its orbit could shift unpredictably, possibly bringing it closer to Earth, or slingshotting it away. Either way, the tides would go from a gentle rise and fall to colossal, planet-wrecking floods. The atmosphere, meanwhile, would become a turbulent mess. Gigantic storms, powered by heat released from the shattered oceans, would rage endlessly across the surface. Lightning storms, hurricane-force winds, and walls of rain would turn the planet into a permanent apocalypse. And all this chaos came from a pause lasting only 1 second. Now, you might be wondering, could anyone, anywhere, survive this? Surprisingly, yes, at least for a while. Deep-sea creatures, living kilometers under the ocean's surface, wouldn't even notice that humanity had just been blendered. Certain microscopic organisms, the kind that survive nuclear blasts, would probably outlast everything else. And if you were lucky enough to be inside a reinforced spaceship orbiting above Earth when it happened, you'd survive too. Of course, you'd be coming back down to a planet that now looked like an angry lava ball covered in superstorms. Good luck building a new civilization out of that. But what if we push the thought experiment further? Suppose instead of 1 second, the Earth stopped for 10 seconds, or even longer. Well, then we're no longer talking about just a catastrophic disaster. We're talking about planetary disintegration. The Earth's magnetic field, generated by its spinning molten core, would collapse. Without it, solar radiation would fry the atmosphere, stripping it away like peeling an orange. The planet's rotation also helps stabilize its shape. So, without that centrifugal force, the oceans would start flowing toward the poles, flooding everything along the way and leaving the equator as a barren desert belt. Within weeks, Earth would be less like our familiar blue marble and more like a cosmic crime scene. So, after all this, what's the final verdict? If the Earth stopped spinning for 1 second, it wouldn't just be a bad day. It would be the last day. Humanity would vanish in a supersonic heartbeat. The planet's surface would be remade by fire and flood. And the survivors, if any, would only have the comfort of saying, well, at least it wasn't 2 seconds. In short, Let's keep the Earth spinning.